right at the beginning, I was wondering whereabouts were you born?
Yeah, so I was born in a small country in West Africa called Guinea, Guinea Conakry. So I was born there, and I moved there when I was 5 years old to the UK.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you lived in, is it right that you lived in Kingston?
Yeah, so I actually moved here as an asylum seeker for two reasons. The first one was because there was political sort of disturbance there in Guinea, and the second reason was because my school actually kicked me out because they didn't have the facilities to be able to give me a good enough education. So when I went in, I couldn't actually read any of the materials in reception. You know, I couldn't read the books, I couldn't read the blackboard, and the teachers, they were like, we can't help you, and they told me to go home, and my parents were like, we want you to have an education. So that's the initial reason why I actually moved to the UK. And then when I moved here as an asylum seeker, they moved us to Birmingham, specifically in a place called Dudley, and that's where I kind of spent my primary school years from the age of 5 to 11, and that's where I kind of fell in love with sport and learned English and made lots of friends, and had a positive upbringing.
Yeah. So it must have been quite frustrating for you having to leave school because they couldn't cater to you.
Yeah, exactly, and that's when I realised, not everywhere in the world is the same. When I moved to the UK and I started reception all year one in Dudley, like they had everything in place. I had a teaching assistant who sat next to me in class and read the board out to me. She enlarged all the text for me. She was always there on hand if I needed help. I had a laptop, to type up big text documents on Word and enlarge all the font. I had magnifiers. And so, that's when I realised, like, there's a lot of difference in support around the world, and, the UK was so far ahead than where I've just come from. And it wasn't actually until I moved to Birmingham that I got my eye disease diagnosed. So when I was in Guinea, they didn't have the facilities to know what it was, but when I came to Dudley, I went to the eye doctor in I think it's Birmingham Eye Hospital, and they said, you've got retinitis pigmentosa, and this is what it means, and these are what sort of the perimeters of your eye conditions are, and stuff like that. So that's when I actually learned I had a visual impairment and what it was and what it meant, kind of thing.
Yeah. And just as a sort of aside to that, I was wondering if in your own words you kind of be able to briefly explain what retinitis pigmentosa is and sort of how that affects your every day.
Yeah, so retinitis pigmentosa is a rare degenerative inherited eye condition which affects peripheral and night vision, and gets worse over time until eventually leading to blindness.
Right, yeah. And at what point did you first get into athletics?
Yeah, so like I said, when I first moved to Dudley, I didn't speak English, so one of the main ways I made friends was through sport, so playing football and basketball on the playground. And one thing I was really good at was running and racing with the other kids, and every sports day I always used to win the sprint race. So that's how I initially fell in love with it. But it wasn't until when I moved to Kingston and I was at